the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to win imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitative activities, karma kanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. So once again, welcome to today's call and thank you very much for joining us. Moving on to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. But at this point in time, I will let all the devotees on the call to please go ahead with their introductions now.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji, Dandrat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji, Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Aditi Devi Dasi from Canada.
Hare Krishna, Aditi Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the assembled devotees. This is Anita Ramya from Sharjah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. And to all the assembled devotees, this is Megha from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Megha Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and all the devotees here. This is Ekaralika Lila Devidasi from Iowa.
Hare Krishna, Ikaradika Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji, my Dandvat Pranam to you and to the all assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. This is Pooja Arora from Haridwar. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Pooja Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandvat Pranam Mataji, myself Ruby Thakur from India. And Dandvat Pranam to all the respectful devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jyoti Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Danvas Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Gurudev. This is Shiromani Nandarani Devidasi from Krishna Katha Desh. Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Shiromani Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I offer my obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Arun from West Bengal.
Hare Krishna and Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam.
All glories to Srila
Yes, ma'am.
Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Charu from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Charu Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Vandi from India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vali Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Do we have any more introductions before we start the class?
Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Lincoln. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasni Gurudasa from Atlanta. Thank you, Mataji, for having me.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Amogh Lila Prabhu from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shyama Gauri Mataji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. We're extremely fortunate to have His Grace Amogh Lila Prabhuji here with us today. And Prabhuji would be enlightening us by walking us through Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 4, and verse 30. But before we dive into this nectarine class, I would request Raj Prabhuji to share a brief introduction about His Grace Amogh Lila Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Raj Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Over to you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam to you and all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Gauranga. Here's a very brief introduction for our dear Grace Amogh Lila Prabhuji. Amogh Lila Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and is presently serving as the Vice President of the Dwarkadish Temple at Dwarka. With great spiritual curiosity, right from his childhood days, Prabhuji found his answers at ISKCON and in 2010 became a full-time practicing monk brahmachari. Prabhu has the art of combining the heavy philosophy with just the right proportion of anecdotes, one-liners, humor to leave the audience spellbound and inspire them to embrace this path of bhakti. And Prabhuji gives classes in both Hindi and English. Prabhu has helped thousands of students free themselves from the clutches of addiction and depression. He also serves as a life coach, helping people with stress-related problems. We are very, very grateful to have Prabhuji as our speaker on Bhakti Sangha today. Over to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. And Pranam.
Thank you so much, Raj Prabhuji, for reading out the introduction.
Prabhuji has not joined yet, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, thank you.
Prabhuji is coming, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Amogh
Krishna
Lila.
Prabhuji. Dandavad
Hare
pranam.
Krishna,
Krishna
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji,
Dandavat
Dandavat
pranams to
Pranam.
you.
Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
Hare Bol.
Krishna. Hare
Hare
Bol.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna, Amogh Lila.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, you are muted. Yeah. Everyone, Mataji, you are muted.
Mataji, you are muted. Mataji.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm going on mute again. I'm so sorry. Hare Krishna, Amogh Lila Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving us your valuable time and association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Without further ado, I would like to request you to please take over from here. Hare Krishna.
Hey, Hare Krishna, devotees. Thank you very much once again for inviting me. I'm glad to be amongst all of you. Hare Krishna. So let's sing one song, which is quite in connection to the theme which we are going to discuss today. Okay. So let me share the song. Where is that song on? Hare. Yes. So here is a song written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Brajinda Kumara. So I'll just read the translation so that when we sing it more meaningfully because the song is in Bengali. Okay, so here goes the translation. O youthful son of King of Raja, you're the Lord of all lords. According to your will, creation and destruction take place in the universe. According to your will, Lord Brahma creates, and according to your will, Lord Vishnu maintains. According to your will, Lord Shiva destroys, and according to your will, Maya constructs the prison house of this world. According to your will, the living beings take birth and die, and according to your will, they meet with prosperity and ruin, happiness and sorrow. The tiny soul bound up by Maya vainly struggles in the fetters of worldly desire. Without your sanction, he is unable to do anything. You are my only protector and maintainer. Except for your lotus feet, there is no other hope for me. No longer confident of my own strength and endeavor, I have become solely dependent on your will. So Bhaktivinoda is most poor and his pride has been leveled. Now, in accordance with your will, he lives and dies. Okay. तुम ईश्वरेश्वरेश्वरा ब्रजेंद्र कुमारा तो तुम्हारा इच्छाए विश्वे सृजन संहारा तव इच्छा मतो ब्रह्मा कोरे न सृजाना तव इच्छा मतो विष्णु कोरे न पालाना तव इच्छा मते शिवा कोरे न संहारा तव इच्छा मते माया सृजे कारागारा तव इच्छा मते जीवेर जन्म मरणा समृद्धि निपाटे दुखा सुख संघटना मिछे माया बध जीवा आशा पाशे फिरे तव इच्छा बिना किछु कोरिते न पारे तुमी तो राखार आरा पालक हमारा तुम्हार चरण बिना आशा नहीं यारा निज बल चेष्टा प्रति भरस छाड़िया तुम्हार इच्छाए आची निर्भर करिया भक्ति विनोद आति दीना किंचना तुम्हारा इच्छाए तारा जीवन मराना हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद। हरे कृष्णा। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. So today we are studying from Srimad Bhagavatam and Canto 6, Chapter 4, verse number 30. Yeah. So the verse goes like this. Yasmin yato yena cha yasya yasmai yadyo yatha kurte karyate cha paravaresham param praka prasiddham tad brahma tadhe turnanya dekam. Now, word meaning, that means synonyms, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yasmin, so these are synonyms now. Yasmin, in whom the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Supreme Place of repose. Yataha, from whom everything emanates. Yena, by whom everything is enacted. Cha, also. Yasya, to whom everything belongs. Yasmai, to whom everything is offered. Yat, which. Yaha, who, yatha, as, kurute, executes, karyate, is performed, cha, also, para avare, avaresham, of both in the material and spiritual existence, paramam, the supreme, prak, the origin, prasiddham, well known to everyone, tat, that, brahma, the supreme Brahman, Tat hetuhu, the cause of all causes. Ananyat, having no other cause. Ekam, one without a second. Translation. The Supreme Brahman Krishna is ultimate resting place and source of everything. Everything is done by him. Everything belongs to him and everything is offered to him. He is the ultimate objective and whether acting or causing others to act. He is the ultimate doer. There are many causes, high and low. But since he is the cause of all causes, he is well known as the Supreme Brahman, who existed before all activities. He is one without a second and has no other cause. I therefore offer my respects unto him. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original cause, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, Matta Saram Pravartate. Even this material world, which is conducted under the modes of material nature, is caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who therefore also has an intimate relationship with the material world. If the material world were not a part of his body, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Cause, would be incomplete. Therefore, we hear Vasudeva Saramiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. If one knows that Vasudeva is the original cause of all causes, he becomes a perfect Mahatma. The Brahma Samhita chapter 5 verse number 1 declares, Ishvara Paramah Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna who is known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful, spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes, the supreme Brahman. Tat Brahma is the cause of all causes, but he has no cause. Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. Govinda, Krishna is the original cause of all causes, but he has no cause for his appearance as Govinda. Govinda expands in multifarious forms, but nevertheless they are one, as confirmed by Madhvacharya. Ananya Sadrisha Sadbhavat Eko Rupadya Abhedataha. Krishna has no cause nor any equal, and he is one because his various forms as Swamsha and Vibhinnangsha are non-different from himself. Om Agyan Kamirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parjana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganalita Shri Vishakhan Vitascha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kante Radha Kante Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrinda Vaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshtarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatripatam Mande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So let me read the translation once again. So the translation goes like this. The Supreme Brahman Krishna. Okay, so the screen has been shared with all of you. Yeah, scroll down. We are reading the translation. Yes. The Supreme Brahman Krishna is the ultimate resting place and source of everything. Okay. So here it is mentioned that Supreme Brahman, Krishna. So Brahman means spiritual substance. So anything which is spiritual in nature is known as Brahman. So even soul is also known as Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. We are also Brahman. Spiritual world is also known as Brahman because that's a spiritual existence. So that is also Brahman. The effulgence coming out of Krishna's body, that is also Brahman. So anything which is spiritual in nature, divine in nature, that is known as Brahman. Anything which is known as, which is nectar, that is Brahman. So because Krishna is also nectar, full of nectar, Akhil Rasamrit Murti, his kingdom is also full of nectar. So that is also Brahman. And the effulgence is also contains nectar. So that way, that is also Brahman. And soul also has nectar, which is because the potentiality to do pure bhakti is there. So that's a Brahman. Anything which is beyond death is known as Brahman. So Krishna, living entity, spiritual world, spiritual creation, all is beyond death. It's a state of deathlessness, so that's why it is Brahman. So all these are different definitions of Brahman. Often those who are monist or those who are radical non-dualist, they say, well, Brahman means only effulgence, that all pervading homogeneous light is Brahman. But here Krishna is mentioned as Supreme Brahman. That means within Brahman also there is variety. Yes, those who are impersonalist, they do not know about the variety which exists in the Brahman. Let's see what else is mentioned here. Everything is done by him. Everything belongs to him, and everything is offered to him. He is the ultimate objective, and whether acting or causing others to act, he is the ultimate doer. There are many causes, high and low, but since he is the cause of all causes, he is well known as Supreme Brahman, who existed before all activities. He is one without a second and has no other cause. I therefore offer my respects unto him. Yeah. So that's the translation part, and that's really very beautiful translation. And why such verses come in the Shastras where it is mentioned that he is the cause of all the causes, he is ultimate, he is the source of everything, everything merges into him. This and why such verses are there? So that all the romantic connections which we have in this material world, they become powerless, they become potency-less, they become lifeless, because we come to know that actually it is Krishna who is the source of everything, and everything is meant to be just his playground. Even material world is just his playground. Spiritual world, of course, it's a playground, but even material world is just a playground of God. What are we doing? We are thinking that it is my playground. No, it is not. It is his playground. So when we come to know about the greatness of the Lord, the opulence of the Lord, the grandeur of the Lord, so, and we see each and everything in connection to Krishna. So all those romanticized conceptions about the material world, you and I in this beautiful world, hey, excuse me, sir, that gets punctured because we see the greatness of the Lord, and the greatness of the Lord is so great, and everything which we think is so great is seen in connection to Krishna. So the passion into it gets broken down. Like, for example, a man looks at a beautiful woman, or a beautiful woman looks at a handsome looking man, but they see each other in connection to Krishna. So the passion goes down. Oh, she's such a beautiful woman. Oh, she belongs to Krishna. Krishna, yeah. Krishna says in the Gita that whatever beautiful, whatever opulent, what you see in this material world is nothing but a spark of my splendor. Okay. And all the beauties of this world, okay, all that which is great, okay, all that which is opulent is nothing but a spark of Krishna's splendor. And here I can see this beauty is a spark of the spark of the spark of that splendor. So when we start seeing things in connection to Krishna, so that passionate, romanticized connection with the material world, it gets punctured. So that's why this kind of explanations are very, very important. There are people who will straight away get into the Rasa Lila part, the sweetness aspect of the Lord. But this greatness part becomes like a stepping stone to enter into sweetness. Otherwise, sweetness becomes just a cheap thing, That Krishna being a hero and he has got a darling, Radhika, many girlfriends, the gopis, and this and that. Excuse me, sir. There are other aspects of Krishna, yes, which when we understand in terms of his greatness, then we can enter into the realm of sweetness. So that's why these kind of verses, they are very important. So here it is mentioned that Krishna is the source of everything, and everything rests on him. He is the cause of everything. Yeah. So that's given there. So now recently there was one book which was released by Mr. Richard Dawkins, and the name of the book is God Delusion. So many stupid arguments are there in the book, but one of the argument is that if God is cause of everything, what's the cause of God? Who created God? So, and then he doesn't give any kind of answer, and then he concludes, well, that's why God is just a delusion. So when somebody cannot understand something, so illogically presented logic is that just disapprove the existence of that person or that entity. This is what Richard Dawkins has done in his book, The God Delusion. That everything is coming from God, everything is creation of God. And what about the creator? Who created the creator? So very simple answer is that before putting up this question, one should have the conception that what is God? First, you should define God, and then we can have question on God, right? For example, if somebody asks a question, is circle circular in nature? What kind of stupid question is that? Is circle circular in nature? How can there be something, say circle, which is not circular in nature? Circle has to be by default circular in nature. Have you seen circle? Well, not, but yes, we can have a question on circle. Excuse me, sir. Circle is by default circular. Here is a circle. Oh, so this question is invalid. Is circle circular in nature? Similarly, this question that God, who created God? Excuse me, so first define God. When we define God, then we can have questions about God. First, we should define. Yes, the definition is very important. Then we get into the personality and his other aspects. Definition. Definition is that God is the one who is ultimate creator. That's God. But still, God has to be somebody, but everything comes to being by someone. There is a cause of everything. So God must be an effect also, although he is the cause of this world, but he should also be an effect of something, Baba. So there should be a cause of God as well. So then that cause would be considered God. Okay. But this cause should also have a cause. So we can go further. Another cause, another cause, another cause. In this way, we keep going on and on and on and on and on and on. Wherever we will stop, that's God. Because all of this, even if it goes for hundreds and millions of times, then where it would stop. So effect has a cause, this cause and effect of the cause, effect, cause, because God doesn't have a cause. God is the ultimate cause. And that's the definition of God. So to say who created God is an invalid, illogical question because it doesn't fit into the definition of God. Definition of God is that he is always there. He's eternal, actually. So although we may say, oh, well, God is not visible in this world. Well, excuse me. Just like author is not there in the book. A book is written. So author may not be in the book. Author is outside the book, but author has created the book. So those characters which are within the book, they will say, where is the author? Excuse me, guys. Author is outside the book. So similarly, Krishna is also outside the world as well. So he is, just like in Ishopanishad, it is mentioned that God is inside the creation as well as outside the creation. So Srimad Madhvacharya says, what's the meaning of that? He's inside and outside. How can someone be inside and outside both? Either I'm inside the room or I'm outside the room. In case if I'm outside, I can't be inside. In case if I'm inside, I can't be outside. How can somebody be inside, outside both? He says he's inside as a controller and he's outside as a maintainer. So God is inside and outside both. And that's a unique quality of God. Like in the case of this book and author may or may not be there in the book. In case he's writing an autobiography, then that's another thing. So he's there inside the book as well. And he's outside the book as well. But usually when a book is being written, so there are various characters or various theories and analogies and stories and all that. So that's there in the book. But outside the book, there is author. So God is there within creation as well as he's outside the creation. There was once a king, he asked his subjects, where is God? You say God is everywhere. Yes, sir, God is everywhere. But where is God? So he asked one of his intelligent ministers, Tenali Raman, you tell me if God is everywhere, how can God be everywhere? If God is everywhere, we should be able to see God. Where is he? And Tenali Raman said, well, Your Majesty, if you can kindly bring some yogurt. Sure. So yogurt was brought. Sir, is there butter in the yogurt? Of course. But where is it? Show me, sir. You just said that it is there. Show me. Oh, Tenali Raman, you ought to churn it. When you churn the yogurt, then comes the butter. So similarly, Tenali Raman said, just like butter is part of the yogurt, even though we cannot see butter. But when we churn the yogurt, then butter comes to surface. Similarly, God is everywhere. But we can see God when we churn when we churn our hearts with the grinding rod of bhakti, and it is moved with surrender, then we can see God. Even though all the God is everywhere, but we are to train our minds. We have to make some efforts. Just like we make efforts in churning the yogurt, and so that butter comes to surface. Similarly, we are to make the efforts with surrender and bhakti. Then we can see God, although God is all pervading. So one more example which is given often by the philosophers is that, yeah, God is cause of everything, but he's like seed. He's a seed of entire creation, right? So he's a seed. Just like seed, where it transforms into the stem, the branches, the leaves. So, and then later on the seed disappears. The seed is no more in existence because now seed has transformed into stem and branches and fruits and flowers and all of that. So that's when seed is no more in existence. Similarly, when God, he expanded into this world, so ontologically in existence as an entity, now he is now dispersed in this creation. Just like a seed disperses and expands into the stem and branches and all that. Is it like that? No. So Krishna is not like a seed, although seed is the cause of the plant, but seed later on disappears. But God is not like that. God is like Parasmani. From Parasmani, the touchstone, it touches whatever it touches, it transforms that into gold. But yet at the same time, the Parasmani, the touchstone remains intact as it is. Similarly, from God, many things can come and transform, many things can happen, but he remains as it is. Yes. Another analogy is given that, okay, God is coming from, everything is coming from God. Yes, that's true. Just like, there is pizza. And a pizza, there are pies of pizza. All the pies are part and parcel of the pizza. But all these different pies, one pie, second pie, third pie, fourth pie, fifth pie, sixth pie, seventh pie, eighth pie, done. Now the pie in its original aggregate form, that pizza is no more. Now it's been given to different people. This is for you. This is for you. This is for you. This is for you. So where is the pizza? Pizza gone. Pizza is now distributed. Now pizza is no more there. Similarly, God expanded into all of this creation, the living entities, and that's why we are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna says in the Gita, Mame Vansho Jiva Loke Ji Bhuta Sanatana, right? Because we are part and parcel of God. So we all are different parts of God. So God has now dispersed himself into this creation, losing his original ontological existence. Is it like that? No. Then Srila Prabhupada gives the example that how God is the source of everything, yet he maintains his individuality. Just like a father gives birth to a child. A father may give birth to a child, but still he remains intact. Not that from me came John, and then from 6 feet I became 5 feet. So he said, Mr. John, you are 6 feet tall, but now you're 5 feet tall. How come? Well, I gave birth to my child, so that's why I got my son. So from 6 feet I become 5 feet. Okay, after some time comes another, say, daughter comes, Pinky. Okay, now he has become 4 feet. Excuse me, sir. Now you have become 4 feet? Yeah. Actually, I gave birth to another child. So that's why I become now 4 feet. And then after some time, one more child, say Matthew. Now he has become 3 feet. So what's wrong with you? Now you're only 3 feet tall. Yes, yesterday I gave birth to another child. So that's why now I become 3 feet. Does that happen? No. So that means after giving birth to 6 children, this person should disappear. Because now this person has given birth to 6 children. Does that happen? No. So person may give birth to many children, yet the person remains intact as it is. Similarly, from God can come unlimited living entities, unlimited incarnations, so many different creations. Yet the Lord maintains his ontological existence, his entity, his original form as it is. Yes. Just like from the cow comes milk. So cause is the cow and the milk is the effect. So does it happen that after giving milk, the cow becomes zebra? How come cow became zebra? Well, the cow has given 10 liters of milk. So that's why now it has changed to zebra. And then gradually it become a calf and then the smallest one, and then one day the cow will disappear. No. The cow remains as it is. Even she gives hundreds and hundreds of liters of milk, yet the cow remains as it is. A tree may give hundreds and thousands of fruits, yet the tree remains as it is. Similarly, Krishna remains as it is, even though he's the cause of all the causes. All the incarnations and living entities, they come from Krishna. Krishna remains as it is. Just like in a fire, Chaitanya Charitamrita gives very good example. There is a fire, and from fire comes flames. They are bigger flames. Yeah. And there are also some sparks, which are also there. And there is also smoke. So the flames are coming from fire. Sparks are coming from fire. The smoke is also coming from fire. Yes. But the smoke can cover the sparks. But the smoke cannot cover the flames. The smoke cannot cover the fire. So fire is Krishna. The flames are the incarnations. And the sparks are the living entities. And the smoke is Maya. So Maya cannot cover the fire. Maya cannot cover the incarnations. Maya cannot cover those sparks which are near the fire. That means liberated souls. But those sparks which go away from the fire, smoke can cover only those sparks. That means living entities can be covered in case they go away from God, then Maya can cover. Otherwise, Maya cannot cover even sparks because they're coming from Krishna. The living entities are coming from Krishna. So that's why they cannot be covered. So the fire cannot be covered, the flames cannot be covered, and the sparks which are near the fire cannot be covered by the smoke. Only those sparks which go away from the fire, they can be covered by the smoke. So unfortunately, we are the souls who went away from Krishna, and the smoke could cover us. That means Maya could cover us, could put us in illusion and ignorance. But yes, more we try to come near the fire, the original cause, then we become happy, we become illustrious, joyful. So in this way, although Krishna is the source of everything, yet he maintains his own original form that's there. And he doesn't have a cause. Although he may accept Mother Yashoda as mother in Leela, Nanda Maharaj as father in Leela, Devaki Vasudeva as parents in Leela, and Balramji as brother in Leela, having 10 children from each of the queens in Dwarka, all 16,108 queens, from each children came 10 sons, 1 daughter, from all of them. But he doesn't have children at all. And that's the original form of the Lord. And it's given in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter 46, verse number 38. Na mata, na pita tasya, na bharya, na sutadeya, na atmiyo, na parshchapi, na deho janma evacha. Na mata, no mother. Na pita tasya, he doesn't have a father. Na bharya, he doesn't have a wife. Na sutadeya, he doesn't have children. Na atmiyo, na parshchapi, na deho janma evacha. So he doesn't have those who are his own or those who are distantly related to him, and he doesn't take birth at all. His body doesn't take birth. So this is told by Uddhav about Krishna. That's Krishna. Na mata na pita tasya. But in the Leela, he accepts parents, he accepts brother, he has got friends, he has got wife, he has got his own family members, and he, in a way, he appears. We have Janmashtami, so Krishna took birth. So he does that as a matter of Leela. That's it. But he doesn't have, ontologically, originally, if you see, he doesn't have. Like Srila Prabhupada also quotes this verse, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Such a Mahatma is Sudurlabha, not just rare, but Sudurlabha, very rare. Who knows Vasudeva Krishna is my all in all. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. That Lord Vasudeva, Lord Krishna is my all in all. Such Mahatma is very, very rare. The Mayavadis, the impersonalists, they translate this verse like this. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. That means everything is Vasudev. This chair is Vasudev. This laptop is Vasudev. This mobile phone is Vasudev. This almirah is Vasudev. Everything is Vasudev. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. No, it is not that. That's not the right translation. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti means Vasudev is my everything. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhu cha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya cha dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. You are my father, you are my parent, you are my friend, you are my beloved, you are my well-wisher, you are my everything, you are my knowledge, you are my everything, Krishna. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Such a Mahatma is very rarely to be found who knows that Krishna is my all in all. Yes. So everything rests on Krishna. How come everything can rest on Krishna? Because Krishna is the origin of everything. Everything comes from Krishna. So everything rests on Krishna. Because everything rests on Krishna, that's why Krishna is a controller. Because he's a creator, that's why he's the controller. Without being creator, how can he be the controller? So Krishna is the one who controls everything. And because he actually controls everything, so he's the proprietor of everything. And because he's a proprietor of everything, and that's why he is the enjoyer of everything. Because he owes everything. So this is the sequence: creator, controller, proprietor, and enjoyer. First three aspects are covered in other religions like Christianity, Islam. Other religions, they cover first three aspects. He's a creator. Yes. He's a controller. Yes. He's a proprietor. Yes. But the fourth aspect is not highlighted, that he's the enjoyer as well. Because as soon as comes the question of enjoyment, enviousness. How can this guy enjoy? How can this person enjoy? I also want to enjoy. So there comes the aspect of enviousness as soon as it comes the concept of enjoyment. So the fourth aspect is not highlighted in Abrahamic religions. Only first three aspects are highlighted. The fourth aspect is that he's the enjoyer. But why he's the enjoyer? Because he's the proprietor of everything. That's why. You know, Akbar and Birbal. Akbar was the king and he had one of his ministers, Birbal. So he asked his ministers. Akbar said, okay, one question to all of you. What is that which I can do, but God cannot do? Well, if the question would have been other way around, that what is that which God can do, I cannot do? Many things are there. But here the question is, what I can do, but God cannot do. Anybody has the answer? Birbal said, Jahapana, Your Majesty, there is one thing which you can do, but God cannot do. What is that, Birbal? Well, Your Majesty, if somebody does not listen to you, if somebody disobeys you, you can expel the person from your kingdom. Get out, get lost, just leave my kingdom. You can do that. But if somebody does not listen to God, God cannot do that. Because God cannot say, get out of my creation, get lost. There is nothing outside his creation. Whatever is there in being, in existence, is his creation. So Krishna cannot expel somebody from his creation. Get out, leave. Because he's a supreme proprietor. Because he's a supreme proprietor, there is nothing which exists outside his creation. Everything is his creation. So that's why he cannot expel somebody from his kingdom. Akbar can do that because Akbar's kingdom is limited. So he can expel somebody from his kingdom. But God cannot do that because whatever exists, it comes from Krishna. So he is the cause of all causes. Yes, that's it. And how come Krishna, he maintains his identity, yet at the same time, he pervades everywhere. He is everywhere. Because Krishna cannot be limited by space and time. God cannot be restricted in space and time. We are restricted by space and time. Like currently I'm here, but I cannot be in USA. because I'm restricted by time and space. But there is no restriction of time and space on Krishna, on the Supreme Lord. So he can be present everywhere, yet he maintains his identity. And the example of this is found in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, when Narad Muni visited the Dwarka, and he was very bewildered. What was bewildering? There were 16,108 palaces. And in 16,108 palaces, there were 16,108 queens. And Krishna was present with each one of them. So what is astonishing? Even somebody who has got some mystical powers can do that. Yeah. So there have been people who have multiple forms and then they enjoyed. Like Shaubri Muni, he expanded into 50 forms. So he could do that. So what's so great? But what made Narad Muni felt astonished? He felt astonished because he could see that it is not 16,108 forms of Krishna. He was seeing that one Krishna is there simultaneously in all the palaces. That was bewildering. How can one Krishna be present in all the palaces with all the queens doing different activities? Somewhere he's playing chess with his queen. Good. Nice move. Somewhere he's playing with his children. Somewhere he is with his wife, he's chatting. Somewhere he's going on an evening walk. Somewhere he's watching Netflix. He's doing, but excuse me? How can you do that? One Krishna is doing? So Narad Muni was stunned that this opulence is only with the Lord. Only Lord can do this. Even though he is present everywhere, yet he's one without a second. He's one without a second. He can do that because it cannot be restricted by time and space. Like Kal Nemi when he was chasing the Lord. And Krishna is walking and Kal Nemi is running. Kal Nemi is running, Krishna is walking. Kal Nemi is running, Krishna is walking. So logically speaking, he should be able to catch Krishna. And Krishna was just few meters away. So Krishna is walking, Kal Nemi is running. So he should go and easily catch Krishna. And he was an athlete. More faster than Usain Bolt. He could fast. Very great runner. But logically speaking, he should get caught. Krishna should get caught by Kal Nemi. But he kept running. And Krishna is walking. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, oh, oh. So Krishna is walking, but he could not catch Krishna because Krishna is not restricted by space. And then, of course, Kal Nemi met his death later on. But the point is that Krishna is walking, Kal Nemi is running, so Kal Nemi should be able to catch Krishna, logically speaking. And Kal Nemi is an athlete. In the case of Mother Yashoda, she's a woman with heavy hips, heavy body, and now she is running after Krishna. And in this case, Krishna is not walking. Krishna is running. So in this case, Krishna should not get caught. Because Mother Yashoda, she is not an athlete. She is a household woman. She's a liberated soul, no doubt, but she is a household woman. So how fast she can, and she's not a sprinter. No, but she is running. Krishna. And Krishna is also running. So in the case of Kal Nemi, Krishna should get caught. In the case of Mother Yashoda, Krishna should not get caught. That should happen, logically speaking. But logic has got no locus standi in the realm of bhakti. So what happened was other way around. In the case of Kal Nemi, Krishna could not be caught by Kal Nemi. But in the case of Mother Yashoda, Krishna is caught. Logically speaking, he should not get caught. Because Krishna is beyond time and space. He's beyond time as well. So even though when after spending 125 years on the planet, when he spoke Bhagavad Gita, he's looking like a 15-year-old boy. Now, how does a 15-year-old boy look like? Young, not very muscular, very soft, delicate-looking boy, has got soft mustache. That's 15-year-old boy. And that's what Krishna's eternal age is. So he's beyond time. And he's beyond space. God is beyond time. God is beyond space. And he is the cause of all the cause. Whatever is happening, we can think, well, I'm doing that because I'm very talented. I'm very capable. But all of these capabilities are also coming from Krishna. That way, he's the ultimate cause. Whatever is happening because of Krishna, because even these abilities come from Krishna. The ability to think, ability to speak, ability to do anything in this world comes from Krishna. All the senses are working because of Krishna. So that's why he is the ultimate cause. Like in Mahabharata comes very interesting story of Barbarik. Barbarik was the grandson of Bhim. That means he was son of Ghatotkacha. Ghatotkacha is son of Bhim. And son of Ghatotkacha is Barbarik. Very powerful. So Lord Krishna told him that you should be on the side of the Pandavas and fight. He said, no. I given my promise to my mother Hidimba that which of the two sides is becoming weaker, I'll join that party. Well, that's not good. Otherwise, he will keep shifting, and then ultimately only Barbarik is alive. The rest all died. Because he had the arrows which can simultaneously kill, one arrow can kill all entire armies. Okay. So Krishna said, well, you should be on the side of Pandavas. He said, Krishna, I given promise to my mother, so that's why accept this, you can ask for anything, and I'll go for it. He said, okay, anything apart from this? He said, yes. So Krishna said, okay, give me your head. Barbarik said, okay, because I'm your devotee and I gave you a promise, so here is my head. So he gave his head to Krishna. He said, but Krishna, I had a desire to see the Mahabharata, this great war. I wanted to see. So can you place my head and let me see this Mahabharata war? And please empower me that I can see each and every nook and corner of Mahabharata war. Because in case you are placed somewhere, then you cannot see that which is away from your sight. But Krishna gave him this vision, this power, that he could see whatever he wants to see. And he can listen each of the cries, each of the challenges, each of the words which are being exchanged between the warriors. He could hear that as well. This ability was given by Krishna to Barbarik. So he could see, he could hear as well. That which is not possible for any normal human being. So after the 18 days of Mahabharata war, all the warriors, the Pandavas, they came to Barbarik. Barbarik, you are watching the show from the mountaintop. You have seen all the 18 days. So please let us know who is the man of the match. Who was the best performer? Who got the man of the series? So Krishna said, so Barbarik said, well, what I was seeing that man of the match and man of the series goes to Krishna. Excuse me? But he did not fight at all. He was just a chariot driver for Arjuna. The one who is driving a chariot, you are giving man of the match to him? Okay, although we love him, you can give him, but how come? And then Barbarik said, I could see that actually Sudarshan Chakra was killing everyone of Lord Krishna, which was not seen by anyone. So everyone was throwing various weapons and shooting arrows, using club, having club fighting and wrestling and all of that. But actually it was Sudarshan Chakra which was killing everyone. So everything happened by Sudarshan Chakra. So Krishna appeared that, well, he's not doing anything, but actually everything was done by Krishna. And Barbarik could see this all 18 days. That, oh my Lord, what Leela do you do? Amazing, amazing. So everything is done under the control of Krishna. We think that we are the doers. So are we not the doer at all? Is it like that? Or like we are just doing some drama here? Because ultimately everything is under Krishna's control. No, it's not like that. Krishna has given the free will as well. That's why repeatedly he says in Bhagavad Gita, after entire Bhagavad Gita, he said, Yathechisi tatha kuru. Now whatever you may desire, please, you may kindly do. That means he gives free will. If you'll not listen to me, you'll be lost. But if you listen to me, then by my grace, all obstacles of conditioned life would be removed. That means choice is there. Choice is there. So that means all the abilities which come to us, they come from Krishna. Yeah. So that's what, and with those abilities which we can use also, those abilities can be misused as well. Both options are there. So that means ultimate cause is Krishna. But we also have got some free will to use or misuse. Free will is a very tricky topic indeed, because even free will gets impacted by the three modes of material nature. So, but yes, free will is there. But free will, it gets used most in Satogun. In Rajogun, there is free will, but the desires, they are so raging that one is not able to listen, one is not able to use the free will. And in Tamogun, one is so dull. Because of dullness, he's not aware about the free will. Only in Satogun, in mode of goodness, there are chances that one can use the free will. All right, I'll stop here now. If anybody has any question, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, devotees.
Very, very wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I like that point, like, he said, I was listening like this, who is the, man of the match, and like that. And aapne to sixer mar diya. It was like Sudarshan. So nice. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam. Thank you very much for the beautiful class. Shall we go to the question answer session, Prabhu?
I'm sorry?
Shall we go to the question answer session, Prabhu?
Yeah, sure. Please, let's start the questions.
Okay, Prabhu. First, we can see Radhe Govind Mataji. Please, go ahead.
Okay, Radhe Mataji, please.
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna, Radhe Govind Mataji.
We cannot see you, we cannot hear you.
Yes, Prabhuji, my mic was not being unmuted. Prabhuji,
Okay.
sorry, Prabhuji.
Right.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
That's
Prabhuji, thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful lecture. Prabhuji, your lectures always motivates me, and I have left tea, and after listening to your lectures, 2 years back, it has been 2 years I left tea. Thank you, Prabhuji.
You can have lemongrass tea. That's good. You can have cinnamon tea.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, Prabhuji. I don't have tea anymore. Prabhuji, I wanted to ask that.
Lemongrass tea. Yeah, sure. I'm just joking.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji, the example which you explained regarding that John had his kids, he gave birth to kids, and he was losing his height. So is the example same as this Achintya Bheda or something that philosophy?
No. No. There's no Achintya Bheda Bhed. What I'm saying is that just like a man may give birth to any amount of children, yet he remains as it is, right? Not that Mr. John is giving birth to his children and then gradually he's losing height. Does that happen? No, it does not happen, right? Similarly, God can give birth to any amount of living entities, whether Swamsha, that is incarnations, or Vimanansha, the living entities. Still, God remains as it is. There is no change in God. God doesn't reduce to something else just because he emanated something or some living entities. No, he remains as it is. So that's the only point. No Achintya Veda, but that's a different chapter altogether. Yeah.
Oh, can you explain Achintya Bheda Bheda a bit? I don't understand. I didn't understand the philosophy actually. That Achintya Bheda Bheda.
Achintya, Bheda, and Abheda. There are three words together. Achintya Bheda Bheda. So Bhed means difference. Okay, and Abhed means no difference. So simultaneously both are there. So in Achintya means which is beyond logic. So that's known as Achintya Bhed Abhed. Okay, when we say Achintya, it doesn't mean that it cannot be described, it cannot be comprehended. No, it is not like that. We can comprehend it, we can understand it, because something can be simultaneously one and different. Like chickpea, matar. Outside is one, Abhed. But when you open it, once you open it, then there are the chickpeas are there. Yeah. So that's why. Yes. So it's one and yet different, right? Say like you, me, and we have Ayan. We all are human beings. Oneness, but there is difference as well. You are Radha Govinda Mataji. I am Amogh Lila Das, and he is Ayan Prabhu. Difference as well, right? So that's why in this creation, wherever you see, there is Bhed as well as Abhed. If we go only by Bhed, that means there is only difference. The God's supremacy cannot be established. Like, for example, if I tell you there is knife, there is helicopter, there is apple, and there is spinach. Which is the best? So, Prabhuji, I mean, how can I tell between spinach, knife, apple, which is the best? Because there is nothing common. And in case everything is just common, but there is no difference. So there is one apple, second apple, third apple, fourth apple, fifth apple. Which is the best? Prabhuji, all of them are apple. So only by oneness, supremacy cannot be established. Only by difference, supremacy cannot be established. But having oneness and difference together, supremacy can be established. How? For example, there is custard apple, there is pineapple, and there is mango. All of them. So which is the king of the fruits? So then you can conclude, yes, the king of the fruit is mango. All the mango is fruit. Okay. And pineapple is also fruit. Apple is also fruit. Custard apple is also fruit. Golden apple is also fruit. Grapes are also fruit. Papaya is also fruit. But the king of the fruits is mango. So when there is oneness and yet difference, then the supremacy of the Lord can be established. So between us and God, also there is oneness and difference. God is also divine, we are also divine. He is also conscious, we are also conscious. He is also eternal, we are also eternal. Oneness. But there is difference also. He's predominator, we are predominated. He's controller, we are controlled. He is creator, we are created. He is independent, we are dependent. He is away from Maya, we are susceptible to Maya. So that's why there is difference as well. So oneness and difference, this is how we can understand. Just like sun and sunshine, they're one and same, yet there is sunshine and there is sun. When sunshine enters our room, we don't say sun has entered my room. We say sunshine has entered. That means there is difference between sun as well as sunshine. So sun can be compared to Krishna and sunshine, the living entities. Okay. So between energy and energetic, there is oneness and difference. Between energetic and energetic, that means between Krishna and his incarnation, oneness, all of them are one, yet they are different as well. Lord Ram doesn't have Rasa Leela, but Krishna has Rasa Leela. So there is difference as well. Between the potencies also, energies also, there is difference. Okay. Just like you are also soul, I am also soul. We all are souls, but yet we are different souls. We have different desires. We have different proclivities. So that means we are different as well. So each and everything in this world can be explained by oneness and difference, which in a supramundane way is together as well as different. But the difference is more, oneness is less. 10% oneness, 90% difference. Together, taken together, then we can understand everything in this world. Even in this world or the spiritual world, everything can be explained by Achintya, Bheda, Abheda, Tattva, Siddhanta, given by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Okay,
Prabhuji, thank you for such.
Puja. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my obeisances.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji, we are happy to see you here listening to Hari Katha because your words are like singing and your movement are like dancing. Thank you for that. And Prabhuji, your the lectures, whatever about the lust and the greed are very nice. Everything is almost kicked off. Just flashes like Prabhuji. When we browse something, accidentally something comes which we don't want to see, or we overhear something, or we speak with the flow. So how to overcome that, Prabhuji, which is materially we don't want to, but accidentally happens. Then how to remove it when we are doing some household work?
Like you heard something which you should not have heard. Is it like that?
Yes, Prabhu. Or see something which should not be seen while browsing, or with flow we speak.
You know, seeing doesn't bring bondage. Contemplation brings bondage. Like Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Dhyayato Vishyan Punsan Sangaseshu Vijayate Sanga Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodha Vijayate. Dhyayato, not Drishtava. Dhyayato. So if you get to see something unpalatable, if you heard something which was not really spiritual, that will not bring bondage. But if you start contemplating on that, that brings bondage. So that's a good news, that do not get to the contemplation level stage. Before that, take a U-turn.
Yes. Prabhuji, one is that Prabhuji, during 4:30 Brahma Murta, when we try to get up, there is something which is stopping us. So what are the instructions we should give to mind, and what is actually happening, Prabhuji?
I'm sorry?
Prabhuji, in the morning Brahma Murta time, we want to get up, Prabhuji, Brahma Murta time. So what happens, sometimes we are willing to get up, but we will not get up. Sometimes we'll sleep off. So what is actually happening there, and what instructions we should give to the mind?
It's primarily it is laziness, of course. But in case you have slept late and you're trying to get up early, so you cannot get up because you are not taken sufficient rest. Like winters are coming, so we want to have all excuses not to get up, right? So that's why when you sleep, you should be properly covered. That means there should be warmth in the cloths in itself, so that you don't depend on the warmth coming from the blanket, so that you can remove the blanket. Otherwise, because blanket is giving me warmth, I don't want to get rid of this warmth. Oh, this is so good, so nice, so I'll not leave the blanket. So one should properly cover oneself and then go to sleep. Yeah. And you should also have a reason why you want to get up early in the morning. What is your reason? In case you do not have a good reason, strong reason, big enough, then you would not be able to get up. Why you want to get up? Well, because we should get up. No, there's not a big reason enough. No, there's not big enough a reason to get up early in the morning. So give yourself a reason big enough that you have to get up early in the morning. So there can be somebody who can also wake you up. Like somebody can give you a call, Mataji, Hare Krishna, get up from your bed. Now take out Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto, 3rd chapter, 20th verse. Read it aloud. Once you will search for 7th canto, 7th canto, 7th canto, yeah. And then read it aloud. While doing all of this activity, your sleep is gone. In case you still want to go to bed, that's your misuse of free will. But at least that inertia, that is taken care of. So that is now away. Yeah. One more thing what you can do to get up early in the morning is get an app known as Alarmy. ALARMY, Alarmy. There are various options. Alarm would stop only when those options are done. Like, for example, mathematical calculation. So you have to solve 3 mathematical problems. 23 plus 47 plus 97. In this way, 3 problems. You can increase the complexity of problems. 35 multiplied by 427 divided by 356. Without doing this problem solving, alarm would not get off. So these are some of the things which you can do to get up in the morning. There's an entire video in Hindi, it is there. How to get up early in the morning. I have made video. So I think so many people have heard that video. Somewhere around 3 million views are already there. So people are benefited. So you can also take benefit. It's in Hindi though. Yeah. You do understand Hindi?
Yes, Prabhuji, I have heard also. But
Okay.
sometimes every day getting up, one day we will take risk. That happens, Prabhuji, sometimes. So
Yeah, 1 or 2 days, 3 days can be there in a month. That's okay. So yeah, human beings, that's okay. So, but yes, but mostly we should try to. Okay,
Prabhuji,
Sakshi Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my respectful obeisance. All
There's so many
glories to Srila
humble obeisances
Prabhupada.
from multiple sources.
Prabhuji,
Who is speaking?
Prabhuji.
Who is that? Sakshi Mataji?
Prabhuji.
Okay,
Prabhuji,
Sakshi Mataji, go ahead.
my question is, as you mentioned in earlier lecture, that Krishna is the fire and we are the flames, and some of the souls are spark of him. Then why is it so that us souls are separated from him? Because many people have already mentioned that we have left God because of our own choices. But Krishna's abode is already free from dust, anger, greed. Then how come we have such tendencies if we will be living away from him? And if Maya is a matter, then how can we get attracted towards her as we are also conscious and Krishna is supreme soul?
I could not hear you clearly, but what I could deduce is that how can soul coming from Krishna get bound by Maya? Is it like that? Is that the question?
Prabhuji, and why we are already separated from him since beginning, because there are 2 souls who are already separated from him and others which are already living with him. And
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
yes.
So soul always has got some free will. So where this free will got executed is a matter of discussion, but for us, important is that we should come back to Godhead, and from there we will never come back. We will live happily with Radha and Krishna forever. Okay. All right. Yes, and next is Ritu Mataji. Please go ahead.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी के नाम पे सामने प्रणाम प्लीज मेरा आप हम भी ऑब्जेक्शन करें मैं हिंदी में बोल सकती हूँ
I cannot hear you. I think it seems like your network is a little weak.
बोल हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम मेरी अब आपको आवाज आ रही है
Yes, I can hear you.
हरे कृष्णा
Yes.
प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्लीज एक्सप्लेन ऑब्लिजेंस मैं हिंदी में बोल सकती हूँ
No. Okay, I'll translate that in English then.
ओके प्रभु जी लाइक मेरा अभी जो स्ट्रगल चल रहा है प्राइड को लेके चल रहा है और लाइक कोई भी छोटी सी भी तारीफ कर देता है तो like, हमको ये है कि हमें श्री गुरु महाराज के चरण कमलों में और श्री प्रभुपाद के चरण कमल वैष्णव के चरण कमल में ऑफर कर देना चाहिए जैसे ही हमको कोई तारीफ करे पर ये सिर्फ ओनली वर्ड्स में हो रहा है अंदर से नहीं हो रहा है हृदय से जो स्टार्टिंग में था तो इसमें क्या किया जाए क्या कर सकते हैं
I could not understand what
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can I translate her question?
Yeah, but I could not understand.
She is asking like when we do some services, people glorify us, and we have to offer that to Srila Prabhupada. But at the beginning, it was happening, but nowadays it's not happening by heart. It's happening. So that's what means. People glorify us, and we get popped up. So what to do with that? That's what she's asking.
So do not worry, it is not getting you're not getting puffed up. In case you'll get puffed up, Krishna will make sure that which is puffed up, it gets diffused, gets punctured. So do not worry about that. So devotees appreciate, but when devotees sincerely and genuinely appreciate, that would not lead to pride, because that's a blessing. When devotees appreciate, it's a blessing. So take those words as blessing and then move on. They are inspiring you, they are encouraging you. And somewhere you should see that these words are there so that I develop these qualities. In case they are saying, oh, Mati, you're so humble, so nice. That means I'm not humble. They want me to become humble. So in this way, we can practice it, and gradually it becomes our second nature. It becomes so natural for us that actually, who am I? I'm nothing. I'm just a small servant, and whatever good is happening, it is happening because of blessings of devotees. So this thing becomes your default setting. So fake it till you make it. All the best. All right, now we have A for Krishna Bandhu, Sia.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Comes to you. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, please give me your blessing so that I can grow in the path of bhakti and never ever fall down. And my request is, will you recommend my name to Krishna, because you are pure devotee and you can do it.
Okay, well, in return, if you will also recommend my name, then I'll also recommend your name.
I'm not pure devotee.
No, you can still recommend. That's okay.
I'm not pure devotee.
That's okay.
I can do it. You can do it. You are already.
Yeah.
You are
You
already
recommend my
dear
name,
to
I'll
Krishna.
recommend your name. Business deal.
Prabhuji, my question is how to increase our determination and tolerance power, and how do I know that Guru's grace is on me?
Guru's grace is upon you or not, is it? If devotees around you are happy with you, that means Guru's grace is upon you. Just see, are devotees around you are happy with you? If the answer is yes, Guru's grace is upon you. He is happy with you. Yes.
Okay, and how to increase our tolerance and determination power?
See, determination, Lord Krishna says determination is in goodness, passion, and ignorance. Okay, dhriti. So, more you cultivate mode of goodness, so your determination would also be in mode of goodness. Determination which is in mode of passion is more after fruitive results. If you get something, your mundane profit, so you are determined. In case there is no profit, you are no more determined. And that determination which is in ignorance, it does not go beyond dreams, ideas. That's it. But that determination which is in goodness, that is firm determination. So try to cultivate more mode of goodness in you, and your determination would be firm. So how to cultivate goodness? So through all these 9 gates, get more and more goodness in yourself. Like that means sattvic seeing, sattvic smelling, sattvic tasting, sattvic hearing. And best is you do bhakti. Bhakti is beyond sattvagun. So more and more you come to mode of goodness, your determination would also be more steady. And bhakti gives that mode of goodness. In the beginning, we do satviki bhakti, and ultimately we do divya bhakti, prem bhakti. So this happens in a due course of time. Of course, you can take help of devotees, take their blessings, take association of determined devotees, take small steps. In case you want to be determined, do small activities which you can do. That will give you confidence that yes, you can do. And in this way, you can increase the stages of determination. Like say, for example, in case you walk and chant, so you can have determination. You sit, okay, 4 rounds sitting, and after 4 rounds, I'll get up and then I'll walk. So once you are done with 4 rounds, then after a couple of weeks, then you say, okay, now before 8 rounds, I'll not get up. 8 rounds, I'll sit and chant. Even though my mind says, come on, get up, move around, look into this variety, this diverse world. This chanting is so monotonous. Come on, get up. No. And you continue to chant. 8 rounds. So after a few weeks, come to 12 rounds. Sit, complete 12 rounds. Before 12 rounds, I'll not get up. And finally come to 16 rounds. In this way, we increase our determination. Okay. Like, for example, you're not able to read. Determination. Okay, I'll read every day 2 pages. Determined. And after some time, 4 pages. Determined. 6 pages. Determined. In this way, gradually you increase your determination. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, and kindly, please, this is my heartfelt request to you. Please kindly recommend my name to Krishna.
Okay, but you have to also recommend my name. All right. All right. So now, Deepala Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhuji, I have 2 questions. One is like, there are so many speakers in ISKCON, so we are affectionate towards them. Also, we have some attraction for them. And parallelly, like we have a kind of affection for our Guru Maharaj also. But sometimes I feel that I have more affection towards our Shiksha Gurus than to our Guru Maharaj. And the second question is, Prabhuji, that if we feel lonely in the association of devotees, how to overcome that? Because it's our anarthas. Because of that, we are feeling so. So how to overcome and how to accept everyone?
Okay. So first question is that you are having more connection with Shiksha Guru than Diksha Guru, because usually we see that those gurus who are having many disciples. So devotees, they get more of realizations and understanding and knowledge and from Shiksha Guru. So naturally, somebody would get attached to Shiksha Guru more than Diksha Guru. So how to deal with that? Firstly, know that Shiksha Guru has come in your life by the blessing of Diksha Guru. Okay. Only exception here is Srila Prabhupada, who's the founder Acharya as well as Shiksha Guru for everyone. So not that Diksha Guru has given us Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada has given us the Diksha Guru. So first thing is that know that the Shiksha Guru who has come in your life is there because of the blessings of Diksha Guru. Okay. Second thing, whatever you understand, whatever you listen and understand from Shiksha Guru, okay, by the blessings of Diksha Guru, you are able to understand and digest it. It has blessings of Shiksha Guru as well, but also blessings of Diksha Guru. And the role of Shiksha Guru is to assist the disciple in serving the Diksha Guru in a better way. That's the job of Shiksha Guru. That means Shiksha Guru should have the maturity to cultivate the disciple in the similar mood as that the mood of the Diksha Guru. Although Shiksha Guru may have different mood, but he has that maturity to take care of the mood which inspires the disciples towards his Diksha Guru. That's the job of Shiksha Guru. Also know that ultimately Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru are both representatives of Krishna. Yeah. So actually there is no difference. So Shiksha Gurus are representatives of Radha Govindaji. And those who are Diksha Gurus, they are representatives of Radha Madan Mohanji. So both of them are representatives of the Lord ultimately. So when we maintain this attitude, then also we are able to see that, okay, they are divine. Both of them are equally glorious. Although I spend more time with Shiksha Guru, but he has come also by the blessings of Diksha Guru. I understand what he speaks because of the blessings of Diksha Guru. In this way, you can also have connection with Diksha Guru, although we are spending less time with Diksha Gurus. Like in ISKCON, we have like Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Jayapataka Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, Radhanath Maharaj, thousands of disciples. So they cannot personally cater to their needs. Radha Govind Maharaj, so many disciples they have. So usually, if not always, usually these disciples, they get nourishment from their local mentors, local guides and philosophers and Shiksha Gurus. And that's perfectly okay. But at the same time, we should have the attitude which I just explained. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhuji. And another question also I asked, if you are
Then
able
how
to answer it.
does sometimes feel lonely among devotees? Why is that
Yeah.
so? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see, where we speak lonely, in case you are very introvert kind of person, but here devotees are very extrovert, but you are not able to connect. Why? Because I'm very introvert in nature. So I feel lonely. Although we socialize also in devotees, but primary purpose we have come to devotees is to spiritualize. Socialize, but we should also spiritualize. That means we should have discussions on Hari Katha, which is beyond socializing. So once you start doing this with few like-minded devotees, that will take away this loneliness, actually. Because sometimes you see that in community of devotees, we socialize so much, we hardly discuss Krishna. We are discussing about gopi dress. We are discussing about children. We are discussing about our crazy husbands. But we hardly discuss about Krishna. Very less. That's why we feel lonely. So socializing thing, yeah, that can happen sometime. But spiritualize, that means more and more Hari Katha, more and more Hari Naam. There can be singing all the Vaishnava songs together. So that should happen. That's primary thing to be done.
And Prabhuji, sometimes I avoid these gatherings also because that's the thing I don't like. Maybe
not avoid.
I feel that, yeah.
You bring Krishna in those discussions. You do that.
And my case is different, Prabhuji. I'm very extrovert. I'm not an
very good.
introvert.
Right.
I'm very extrovert.
In case you find somebody like that, ask a person not to avoid such gatherings. You should go there, you should also socialize, but we should also spiritualize.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you,
Having
Prabhuji.
spiritual
Hare
exchanges.
Krishna.
That's important.
Thank
Yeah. Vishakha Mataji, Hare Krishna. I can hear you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can you hear me now?
Better? Yes.
Prabhuji, in the Vaishnava calendar, which day shall we fast?
I could not decode what you said because
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can you hear me?
I am only able to hear Hare Krishna. Rest entire question was beyond me. So what should I do?
Prabhuji, in the Vaishnava calendar, 3rd and 4th December, both dates are mentioned as Advent of Bhagavad Gita. So, which day are we fast?
Oh, one day is Moksha Ekadashi, one day is Advent of Bhagavad Gita. It's like that. And
Yeah,
third
but
is
usually it's on the same day.
like that. Yeah. So yeah. So is there because of Tithi. Usually the Tithis they coincide with each other, but sometimes it can happen that the starting of the Tithi of Moksha Ekadashi and Advent of Bhagavad Gita can have different starting points. In the sense, sorry, the not starting points, but the major portion on a certain date. So that's why very rarely it happens, but this can also happen that these two can happen on different dates. Okay, Sagar Prabhu, yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful lecture, Prabhuji. I want to ask the question on the inconceivable energy. It means inconceivable, but for our basic understanding of it, or to explain it to some people, like when we go out for preaching or are doing registration at device courses, if that question arises, like you told the incident of Narad Muni saying Krishna in with every queen in Dwarka, or especially the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam is very difficult and very inconceivable to understand. So how to get that understanding of that inconceivability of the Lord and how to explain that to the different peoples?
First, let's start understanding inconceivability in the nature itself. All around there is inconceivability. Like, for example, the spelling of knife is, what is the spelling of knife?
K-N-I-F-E.
No, that's Kanaife. What's the spelling of knife? That's Kanaife. K-N-I-F-E. Kanaife.
Yes.
Logically speaking.
Prabhuji.
So even you see inconceivability even around us. Who is my father is beyond my conception. My mother told me, I accepted that. How when we eat, there is gastric juice, pancreatic juice, there is bile juice, is beyond logic. How does that happen? Is beyond logic. How come a seed of a mango has an entire tree into it is beyond logic? How the sun and moon and all the planets, they are moving all around without any traffic jam is beyond logic. So we should start seeing inconceivability in the creation or all around us. It is just that we have taken them for granted, so we are not able to see inconceivability. Yeah, we conceive it, but actually it is inconceivable. So then we can see that, oh, Lord is also achintya, because even this world, this creation is also achintya. So why can't God be achintya? Yes. So why can't God be beyond logic? He can be. He cannot be restricted in the boundaries of logic. No, God cannot be restricted. Yeah.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
And
Thank you
more
very
we
much,
chant Hare Krishna, then we get this divine intelligence to conceive the inconceivable. So that's for beginners. They may not be able to understand. But gradually they can understand.
Okay, thank you very much, Prabhuji.
All right. Janand Gaur Hari. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam.
Prabhu,
am I audible, Prabhu?
Yes.
Prabhuji, I have no question. I just have a realization from you. I mean, the example you are going by you as a fire, flame, and what you call spark and smoke, it was really strongly understood, Prabhuji.
That's not my example. That's Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami example. I just copy paste.
No. For me, it is come through you. Nimitta Matra, from through you, I got it, Prabhuji. Wonderful example, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you. Jai Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Okay,
Hare
Radhe
Krishna,
Gopal,
Prabhuji.
you have another question. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. I had that one question, but some other question was thrown up. Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, like you explained, like Barbaric was given extraordinary powers by Lord Krishna. So I heard from somewhere like he was given the same form as Krishna also. Like whenever I search in Google, like Barbaric, we see as Sham Baba. So is he?
That's because of sentimental people in India. Otherwise, because Krishna blessed him that you would also be worshipped, just like me.
Yeah.
So and less intelligent people of Kali Yuga, they see that Barbari is actually Krishna, Khatu Shyam. So that's because of some sentimental people. So that's up to them. So we don't criticize them. Okay, do whatever you want to do. But he's Barbarik. He's the grandson of Bhim, son of Ghatotkach, Barbarik, a devotee of Lord Krishna.
He's worshipped as Sham, name Sham, like that is true or not?
No, that's as per the followers, the sentimental followers, what can be done. But actually, he is not Krishna. No, he's just a devotee of Krishna, a nice devotee of Krishna.
Okay, so can we worship him also? Like, can we take blessings from him?
Our Gurujan, rest all we respect them, but we worship our Gurujan, our Gurupan, our Mahajan Acharyas. We worship them.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare ka Sahara, Khatu Shyam Hamara. Okay, Krishna Bandhu, Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances, Guru Krishna Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी प्रभुजी मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि जब जैसे हमसे कहा जाता है मतलब जनरली इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया जाता है कि हम कोई भी वर्क करें तो वो एज अ मूड ऑफ सर्विस करना चाहिए जैसे हम प्रसादम कुक कर रहे हैं और स्टडीज कर रहे हैं तो फिर हम कहते हैं कि कृष्णा दिस इज अ सर्विस फॉर यू और मैं इसे आपको ऑफर करती हूँ बट हम बाय वर्ड्स तो बोल तो देते हैं वो हार्ट से नहीं होता है और हम स्टडीज करते हैं तो फिर बाय हार्ट भी नहीं कर रहे होते कि कृष्णा के सर्विस में लगेगा तो चलो थोड़ा सीरियस करते हैं कि वो फिर मूड नहीं आता है.
Yes. So question is that when we are doing certain kind of services, we should do it from the heart, but we are not able to do it from the heart. It is tongue deep, but it is not heart deep. So how to do that? Yeah, at least it has become tongue deep. That's very good. That's a very good beginning. Gradually, it will become heart deep as well. There was a devotee of Srila Prabhupada, one disciple. He said, Srila Prabhupada, when you enter the room, everyone bows down. But I don't feel like bowing down to you. So what should I do? Srila Prabhupada said, still you should bow down. By doing this bowing down activity, you'll get the feeling as well in a due course of time. So at least start doing that. So at least you are doing it tongue deep, that Krishna, it belongs to you. Although in the heart you say, no, it is actually mine. Still, it is good. It's a good beginning. So from pretension to perfection, In the beginning, we do pretension, but gradually we reach perfection. So that's okay. But at least you have started. All the best. Yeah.
And
Okay.
Prabhuji, second question है
Yeah, second question.
हाँ प्रभु जी, जैसे बार वर्ड्स हम बोल तो देते हैं कि हम ये सर्विस करना शुरू करेंगे, तो कल से हम तुरंत इतना डिटरमिन हो जाएंगे। बार वर्ड्स पूरा एकदम 100% कंफर्म हो जाता है कि अब तो करना है। जैसे मैं भी स्टडीज का होता है कि अब करना है, कृष्ण के लिए सर्विस के लिए करना है, मुझे भगवद गीता रेगुलरली इतने श्लोका पढ़ने हैं, बट वो कंटिन्यू नहीं हो पाता है। पता नहीं क्यों, ऐसा क्या चीज रोक देती है।
Okay, so
तो
you're not able to begin something, right? Like, so for example, reading, shastras, chanting, you're not able to begin something, right?
मतलब बेगिन भी हो जाता है तो फिर कंसिस्टेंसी रुक जाती है। जैसे 2 दिन किया तो अरे किया तो था।
How to have consistency in doing devotional activities? Consistency is a quality of mode of goodness. More you cultivate mode of goodness, consistency would be natural for you. Okay. Second thing is that whatever you do, you should always have plan B. If I am not able to do something, I should have plan B. If I do not do, what is a punishment for myself? I should go by that punishment. And also I should do reporting to somebody. I should also seek blessings so that I can do something consistently. And also start doing improvements, but small improvements, which leads to big improvement in a due course of time. So then gradually you can be consistent, but cultivate mode of goodness. We see that mostly people are struggling with consistency. They are inconsistent. Why? Because lower modes are prevalent all across the world. That's why. But those individuals who are having mode of goodness in their psychophysical nature, more and more they get mode of goodness, then they are naturally consistent. They don't have to push themselves. They are naturally consistent. Whatever they do, they have sense of responsibility and they do it with all earnestness. So it comes in a due course of time by the influence of mode of goodness. And goodness comes by good association and attentive chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. All right. Okay, next we have Pragya Mataji.
प्लीज ब्लेस मी, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि बैक टू गॉडहेड जाने के लिए जो हमारी जर्नी बहुत लंबी है, गैप बहुत ज्यादा है और टाइम बहुत कम है। तो फिर
journey may be long. Journey is long, no doubt. But you know, it's like albatross. Albatross is a bird which flies from South Pole to North Pole, North Pole to South Pole, long distance. But they fly together. That's why they are able to cover such a long distance. So when we are flying together with Hare Krishna devotees, so even though the distance is long and we are to use our own strength, yet we would get inspiration from here and there and everywhere, and we would be successful. So do not feel disappointed. Keep trying. Stay in association of devotees.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes,
Hare Krishna. Please, what's your question now?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, I'm so nervous now. I'm so fortunate to have gotten a chance to talk to you. I am very new to Krishna consciousness, and I have listened all your lectures on YouTube, and I'm doing Prabhuji's lectures. And my question is that, Prabhuji, how to grow in bhakti when we have no physical association of devotees, and I have never been fortunate enough to visit Vrindavan or to perform any service.
Okay, you do not have any personal association of devotees?
No, Prabhuji.
Where do you stay?
I'm in Lucknow right now. I have just completed.
But in Lucknow, there are 2 temples. How come you do not have any personal association?
There's only one, Prabhuji, and that is 25 kilometers away.
Just 25 kilometers. Just. You know, when I was working, temple was away 40 kilometers away. And every Sunday, I would go in auto rickshaw. You know, auto rickshaw, cool breezes come from both the sides. Okay, freezing cold. And 3:30 a.m. I would leave my home so that I attend Mangal Aarti at 4:30 a.m. Although I understand that you are a girl, you cannot do that, but you can go for Darshan Aarti, right? You got personal association.
Yeah.
Lucky you. So,
thank you, Prabhu.
You can share your number with her, and then
you both can share each other's number and you can meet each other.
So Pragya Mataji, no, what's the spelling of Lucknow? Luck? NOW.
Yeah, I'm
जी
from
प्रभु
Lucknow, so I thought कि
Lucknow.
मुझे बताना चाहिए.
Thank you,
So
thank
be
you.
in touch.
I'll get in touch.
All right. Now we have Gaurangi Mataji. How are you doing, Mataji?
Hi, Krishna Prabhu. Wonderful.
Hare
Anytime I hear from you, it's wonderful. The
So
question I
wonderful.
have is this. We say that Krishna is the source of his Maya Shakti, but he is beyond it, like this material world. He is beyond the material world. And we also say that he is the source of his spiritual Shakti, his Chit Shakti.
Yes.
So because he is also the source of this Shakti, but his form is comprised of his Chit Shakti. So I'm wondering, is it appropriate to say that he is also beyond his Chit Shakti since he is the source of it?
Yes, that's true. And that is given in the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna says there is Shara and Akshara. That means that which is fallible and that which is infallible. And Krishna says, I am the source of both. He says there is material world, which is a place of fallibility. And there is also non-fallibility as well, the spiritual world, Akshara. And Krishna says, I am the source of both. So Krishna is beyond material energy as well as spiritual energy. Although spiritual energy is intrinsic to him, is intrinsic to him, but yet he's beyond this energy as well. He's the supreme energetic, so he's beyond that as well. But
So, so this is a little bit of my confusion. This word beyond, if it's intrinsic to him, the word beyond implies that there is like something else, So I'm just trying to understand this word beyond in this context.
Yes. In case of material energy, Krishna can have separate existence altogether because that's material energy, And so Krishna, so this is not part of the constituent of God, material energy. But spiritual energy is part of the constituent of God, but being controlled by God. So God is beyond in the sense he controls that intrinsic energy, which is inherent part of his existence, but he still controls. So that is his. So he doesn't have a separate existence apart from internal potency. He's there with it. Just like whiteness is internal quality of the milk. We cannot separate whiteness from the milk, heat from fire, sweetness from sugar. It is inherent. Yet the attribute which belongs to an entity. So similarly, so energy, the internal energy is part of the constituency of the God of the Lord. Yet at the same time, Lord is the controller and she is controlled. That way he's beyond, although they are inseparable.
Wonderful, wonderful explanation. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। प्रभु जी, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जैसे मैं स्टार्टिंग में भक्ति में इनिशियली भक्ति में आई थी तो मेरे को बहुत Okay, I'll try. Initially, when I joined Krishna Conscious Movement, then I was feeling very aesthetic while listening the kirtans of any Prabhuji and even listening to Hari Kathas and listening to you also. But as I am going deeper in it, my bhakti is not increasing and instead it's going down. And it's when my bhakti and my japa is going down, then when I listen to lectures that what to do, then everyone suggests that do devotee association. But the problem is that when I'm now joining devotees association, then I'm now started taking devotees so you as usual, because when I joined Hare Krishna movement, then I took every devotee as a very pure devotee, very pure soul, and I used to bow down at the lotus feet of everyone. But now as I'm going continuously to the center, then I'm feeling like they are also like me. What's special in them? So how to avoid this?
When you become judgmental, when you judge, you become mental. See, although yes, there are some shortcomings in devotees as well, especially those who are beginning devotees and they are learning, they are growing. So that's why they can also do some mistakes. That's understood. But just like Srila Prabhupada gave the example of, just like there are spots on the moon, Yet we see the moonlight, the moonshine is what we admire, but not the spots on the moon. Similarly, a devotee, we should see the good quality that he's chanting Hare Krishna. Is that he considers Krishna the Supreme Lord. Okay, so that way there is moonshine as well of bhakti. There can be some spots. Say, for example, a devotee eats too much, or maybe he's like a chatterbox, kachar, 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 talks too much, and sometimes appears to be a little political as well. So all of these are black spots. But we should not look into those black spots. We should see the moonshine. That means the bhakti. We can pray for a devotee. We can pray to Krishna. Krishna, I see certain shortcomings in in this such and such devotee. I pray to you, Krishna, please help that devotee become pure. I pray to you. So we can pray to Krishna, but we should not judge anyone. We should see that others may have faults, but the faults in them is like a hole in the needle. But I am like a sieve, I am like a filter. Can filter make fun of needle? Hey, needle, you have got a hole. But filter, you have got so many holes, Baba. So we should see ourselves as filter and the other person as needle. And needle's hole. One or two shortcomings, but I've got so many shortcomings. So I should first scrutinize my own self. Who am I to look into shortcomings of others? I can just pray for them. That's it. Just imagine if we all start praying for each other, all of us would excel so fast on the path of bhakti. Just like currently there are 72 people on this Zoom class, in this Zoom class. If each one of us start praying for each other, each one of us will have 71 prayers. Wow, that's so nice. So we should all pray for each other. Instead of judging, we should just pray for each other. Yeah?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I will be very grateful if you will solve one more question, please.
Okay, 500 rupees.
Can I ask?
Yeah, sure, please go ahead.
Prabhuji, when I joined ISKCON and tried to search about one bhav which is called Manjari Bhav, I admit that I am not at all at this level that I even take this name Manjari Bhav. I know, I admit. But seriously, I just joined ISKCON sirf. The only reason was because I was so attracted towards Srimati Radharani, and my only aim to join ISKCON was so that one day I become so pure that I be the maid servant of Srimati Radharani. But now I admit that I am not at all at that level. But then I listened to a katha that one Prabhuji, when he was going back home to Godhead, then he realized his identity to be a spoon of Srimati Radharani. So I thought that he is at such a great level, and even then his swarup is of a spoon. Then what to talk of me? So it really demotivated me because I am not a pure devotee. A pure devotee of a Lord just want to satisfy law. So please tell about this.
So in case Radharani says, oh, become my spoon. So, and that will please me a lot. Would you agree to that or not?
Yes, I should agree.
Right? Because the mentality is to please Radharani. Not that you want to become Manjari and say, hey, excuse me, guys. Can you see who I am? I am a Manjari. Yay! Are we there? Are we going with this mood there? With this mood,
no.
Right? So the devotee's mood is that Krishna, oh Radharani, what will please you? You let me do that which will please you. If you want me to become a spoon, if you want me to become a glass in your kitchen, let me be that, because that will please you. And that is love. That's love. When we care for the happiness of the beloved exclusively, that is love. So we don't aspire to become Manjaris. In case Krishna, Radharani says, yes, you can be my Manjari. Okay. You be my glass. Okay. You be my plate. Okay. You be my fan. Okay. So that will please
so Prabhuji, our swarup is fixed or permanent, or it will depend upon our sadhana.
It depends on our sadhana. Krishna gives this choice to choose to love him. In whatever way you want to love him, that's why he has got all of these different forms. Just love me in whatever way you want. That means Swarupa, we choose. But this choice also becomes spiritualized once we have crossed the level of Ruchi, which is the third last stage. or fourth last stage. So that's why currently our bhav is das dasanu das. That's our bhav. Okay, one day we become maid servant of Radharani. That later on that will be revealed. But currently we are just servant of the servant of the servant. That's it. Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Akshada Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam.
Okay, we have got two Akshadas. Akshada
Okay.
from Mumbai.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam.
Yes,
Prabhuji, I had two questions. One question was that sometimes there are many sevas like in local center as well as local temple. So there is a dilemma which to go for. So sometimes if I have given commitment for one of these, either of this, so I go for that. But then many a times this happens. So what should we prefer?
You should see where you are needed most. That's it. Wherever there is service necessity, and among the service necessities, whether you are more required, go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the second question was like with our soul goes mind, intelligence, and ego. So even for a liberated soul, there is spiritual ego, mind, and intelligence which goes to the spiritual world?
No, when there is, in a sense, of course, it is there. What is ego? Ego is sense of identity. I. This I is ego. When it is directed towards the world, that is false ego. When you have I belong to Radha and Krishna. I am their servant. I is still there. So this is spiritual ego. And that's fine. This is our natural inherent ego in the soul.
Okay, so spiritual also, all the three exist, like spiritual, mind, intelligence, and ego.
Of course, there is mind, intelligence, and ego, but they are inherent part of the spiritual body. The soul gets spiritual body. Now, sometimes devotees, they say that, soul expands into spiritual body. No, it's not like that. So soul here gets material body, in the spiritual world gets spiritual body. So spiritual body is there. So spiritual body contains also subtle spiritual body. And that's why we see Srimati Radharani says, my mind is attached to Krishna. So that means there is mind in the spiritual world. There is, but that's a spiritual mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Krishna Pranam to you. Okay, Akshada Khaneja.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Prabhuji, my question is that when I was new in Bhakti, I had immense love for Krishna. But today I feel like I don't have love for him. Even though I do services, I do chanting, I hear your lectures, but still I feel that I don't have love for him. He loves me, but I don't have love for me. So how to deal with that? Is it
Firstly,
Maya?
we said we have immense love for Krishna. We never had immense love for Krishna. We have just begun to love Krishna by doing bhakti. So the beginning phase of love is Shraddha. So cultivate your Shraddha in Sadhu Sangha. You do more association with devotees. And then by regular practices, you will come to the stage of love. But currently we don't love. We don't have any love.
Okay, Prabhuji. And I have a request. Can you answer Diya Sharma Mataji's question? She cannot speak. Yes,
She cannot. She has sent a question in the chat box.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, may I say the question, Prabhuji?
I'm just looking into that question. Diya Sharma Mataji has. Prabhu, my parents. फिर वो बोलते हैं ऐसे होते हैं भक्त में. Okay, sometimes so her parents are not favorable for bhakti, and often they become and then she becomes aggressive when they say something which is not so good, which is not so palatable, and and then they say, what kind of devotee are you? You are becoming aggressive, you are becoming angry. What kind of devotee are you? Right? Yes, so we should not become angry, but we should logically present our point. Yes, that we should do. And we can tell them sometimes we become angry a little bit to some extent when somebody insults a devotee, then we become angry. Otherwise, somebody insults us, we do not become angry. So that way, one can logically, sensibly present the point. And of course, we can't be angry with parents, although sometimes they do because they're not devotees, but we should still respect our parents. But yes, we can present our point with firmness, but not rudeness. All right, so we have Pravesh Prabhu and Priya Biswas, and then we stop.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dhanvat Pranam. Second time meeting. Yeah. Prabhuji, my question is that does Krishna consciousness is selective nature, that some like we go on preaching and some take Krishna conscious or some say no to it? Then why it happens?
Why people say no to it? Some people say no to Krishna, right? Why do they do so? Is it so? Is that so?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
There are various reasons why people say no to Krishna. Primarily,
yes.
it is association. Because of bad association, they are not inclined towards Krishna. Secondly, they do not have sufficient spiritual pious merits. That's why they are not inclined towards Krishna. Okay. So, and third is that because of certain conditioning with the modes of material nature, they are not inclined towards Krishna. So these three are the reasons. Together, sometimes in various permutation combination, like that.
Then Prabhuji, how does preaching works?
Preaching works bad because preaching penetrates into all the three reasons. By penetrating through these reasons, preaching reaches the heart, it reaches the soul. Mercy penetrates all of these different layers and reaches the soul and empowers the soul.
Yeah, I have one more question that from my sister, that when I ask them to chant Hare Krishna and wake up early in the morning, but they work, like sometimes they have night shifts and they have to work and they not have time to, yes. Then how to save those people?
Yeah, so they should not get up early in the morning. One should take 6 hours of sleep. That's important. Otherwise, your liver would fall sick and then you'll have bad health. So that's why, in case you're sleeping by 1 o'clock, get up by 7 o'clock. You sleep by 3, get up by 9. You sleep by 12, get up by 6. 6 hours of sleep. But ideally, one can change the job, go for a normal shift job, sleep by 10, get up by 4. 6 hours.
Second option might not possible.
It's possible. Everything is possible.
For me, but not for them.
Okay, all right. That you figure out. Okay, Pia Biswas.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Prabhuji, can you read my question? I put it on the chat box.
In chat box, you have Pia Biswas, right? And Pia Biswas, Hare Krishna. My question is how to manage spiritual life and material life, because I feel that I behave different to devotee friends, but completely different with the material world. Yeah, of course, we have to be different with them. We can't so much become comfortable with material association. We are very conscious. Yes, we are very, very conscious. Like we're dealing with friends who are outsiders, we deal to the point as it is required. But in terms of having light exchanges and social exchanges, and mostly spiritual exchanges, we do with devotees. So it has to be different. Just like you may, just like a wife can respect other men, but she serves the husband. She cannot be equal to all men equally. No, it's not like that. So similarly, we can have different, we have different dealings with material people and materialistic people and devotees, and that's normal. That's okay. All right, devotees. So I think I should stop here now. Thank you all very much for being there.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for the beautiful class. Let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vanshakakalpatarubhyacha, Prasandhupayavacha,
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Prabhuji,
jai.
Hare Krishna. I pray that you also go back to Godhead life only.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Wonderful,
Prabhuji Jai.
So
Thank you very
patient.
much, Prabhuji.
For answering so many questions.
Thy Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.